Did you ever wonder why the European Union exists and what binds its 27 member states? This enigmatic political entity, third largest in population, second in economic might, yet not quite an empire or a single state. Each member nation still retains its own leadership, laws, and military. So what's the glue that holds them together? Who conceived this idea and why? And what does the future hold for it? Stay tuned as we unravel the complex history and evolution of the European Union. Before the European Union, there was chaos. The aftermath of the Second World War had left Europe scarred and divided. Nations were in ruins, economies crippled, and the continent was in desperate need of both physical and moral reconstruction. Amid this devastation, a glimmer of hope emerged. A vision of a united Europe that would stand together in peace, prosperity, and mutual cooperation. A Europe that could prevent the horrors of war from ever resurfacing. The first significant step towards this unified Europe came in the form of the European Coal and Steel Community, or the ECSC, established in 1951. The brainchild of statesman Robert Schuman and economist Jean Monnet, the ECSC was a bold and ambitious project. It sought to pool the coal and steel resources of 6 countries: France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. This was a strategic move. By intertwining these essential industries, it made the prospect of war not just politically undesirable, but economically impractical. The ECSC was more than just a trade agreement. It represented a seismic shift in the mindset of European nations. It was a move away from centuries of rivalry and conflict towards cooperation and integration. It was the realization that standing together as a united front was the only way forward. Yet the journey wasn't without its challenges. Skepticism and resistance were rife. Some nations feared the loss of sovereignty, while others were hesitant to align so closely with former enemies. But the visionaries behind the ECSC remained undeterred. They understood that the path to peace and prosperity lay in unity, not division. The formation of the ECSC marked the beginning of a new era in European history. It laid the groundwork for what would eventually become the European Union. It was the first step on a long journey towards a united, peaceful, and prosperous Europe. And so, the seeds for a new, united Europe were sown. From a humble beginning, the European Union began to take shape. A landmark moment in the evolution of the EU was the signing of the Treaty of Rome in 1957. This event marked the birth of the European Economic Community, or EEC, an organization that sought to create a common market and a customs union among its 6 founding members: Belgium, Germany, France, Italy, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands. However, the EEC was not just an economic agreement. It was a vision of a united Europe, a vision that was born out of the ashes of the Second World War. The EEC sought to make war in Europe not merely unthinkable, but materially impossible by intertwining the economies of its member nations. As the years passed, this vision of unity began to resonate across the continent. In 1973, the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Denmark joined the EEC, marking the first expansion of the community. This was followed by Greece in 1981, and then by Spain and Portugal in 1986. The EEC was growing, and so was the vision of a united Europe. But it wasn't just the size of the EEC that was evolving, the nature of the union was also changing. With the Maastricht Treaty in 1992, the EEC became the European Union. The EU was not just an economic community anymore, it was a political one. The EU began to cooperate in areas such as defense, justice, and home affairs. The Union also introduced the concept of European citizenship, granting every person in a member state the rights of a citizen of the EU. The expansion and evolution of the EU didn't stop there. In the early years of the 21st century, the EU experienced its largest expansion yet. 10 countries, primarily from Central and Eastern Europe, joined the Union in 2004. This was followed by Bulgaria and Romania in 2007, and finally Croatia in 2013. By this point, the EU had grown from its original 6 members to 27. It had become a major player on the global stage, with a population of over 500 million people and an economy that ranks among the largest in the world. But the EU was not just about numbers. It was about a shared vision of peace, prosperity, and unity. It was about creating a single market where goods, services, people, and capital can move freely. It was about promoting human rights, democracy, and the rule of law. The EU had grown, but it was not done evolving. The European Union continues to face challenges and opportunities, from the fallout of the Brexit vote to the ongoing migration crisis. But whatever the future holds, the story of the EU is a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. It's a story that continues to unfold, shaping not just Europe but the world. Today, the European Union stands as a beacon of peace and prosperity. A testament to the power of unity, the EU has become a significant player on the global stage. Its influence extends beyond the borders of its 27 member states to the farthest corners of the globe. Now let's talk about its main institutions. The European Union operates through a hybrid system of supranational and intergovernmental decision-making, with key roles played by the European Commission, the Council of the European Union, the European Parliament, and the European Court of Justice. These bodies work together to formulate policies, enact legislation, and ensure the adherence to EU law. One of the most significant achievements of the EU is the euro, the currency used by 19 of the member states. A symbol of economic stability and integration, the euro has become one of the world's leading currencies, second only to the US dollar. It has facilitated trade within the EU and with other countries, contributing significantly to the prosperity of its member states. Another remarkable accomplishment is the Schengen area, which encompasses 26 European countries that have abolished passport control at their mutual borders. This freedom of movement has not only made travel easier and more efficient, but has also fostered a sense of unity, breaking down the barriers of nationality and fostering a shared European identity. The EU's influence extends beyond economics and travel. It plays a vital role in areas such as human rights, climate change, and international diplomacy. The EU has been instrumental in promoting and protecting human rights, both within its borders and globally. It is also at the forefront of the fight against climate change, setting ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In the realm of international diplomacy, the EU has a significant influence, mediating in conflicts, promoting peace, and advocating for international cooperation. It has been a powerful voice in promoting global norms and values. However, it's not all sunshine and roses. The EU faces its own set of challenges. Economic disparities among member states, the rise of nationalist sentiments, and debates over sovereignty are some of the issues that the Union grapples with. It's a balancing act, maintaining the benefits of unity while respecting the diversity and autonomy of its member states. The European Union is indeed a unique entity, not a single state, not an empire, but a union of diverse nations working together for peace, prosperity, and a better world. It's a grand experiment in international cooperation, an experiment that has seen both challenges and triumphs. The European Union is a unique entity with its own challenges and triumphs. But what lies ahead for the European Union? We've seen the birth, evolution, and current state of the EU, but its future remains uncertain. The European Union faces significant challenges in its path. The Brexit, a term coined for Britain's exit, has already sent shockwaves through the continent and beyond. Economic disparities among member states present another hurdle. Wealthier nations like Germany and France are often at odds with less affluent countries such as Greece and Portugal over fiscal policies. This dichotomy has sparked debates about the Union's economic future and the sustainability of the euro. Adding to these complexities is the rise of nationalism, threatening the very ethos of unity and cooperation that the EU was built upon. Countries are increasingly prioritizing their national interests, thus posing challenges to the EU's collective decision-making process. Despite these challenges, the EU has shown resilience in the past, adapting and evolving to meet the needs of its member states. Only time will tell what the future holds for the European Union. So, who needs the European Union, you might ask? Well, it's a question with many layers. As we've explored throughout this video, we've traced the birth of the EU from its post-Second World War origins, aiming to ensure peace and stability in a war-torn continent. We've seen its evolution into a powerful bloc of 27 nations, each with its own leadership, laws, and military, but united under shared values and common goals. Today, the EU stands as the third largest entity in terms of population, and the second in terms of nominal economic size. It's a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. But what of its future? It's a question that remains open and is continually shaped by the actions of its member states and their citizens. Remember, the European Union is more than just an unidentified political entity. It's a story of unity, peace, and prosperity.